Okay, I think we are live. So today the objective would be to understand the five aggregates and then do the same meditation of what we did as a vipassana few days ago. So this one will get you to anicca on one side and anatta on the other side. So either way, you should be able to experience letting go of what we are holding on in the fist. We are grasping it, so should be able to remove that hold or remove that pressure by holding like this. So what we will first do is to understand what are the five aggregates. Then what we are going to do is that we are going to look at how these aggregates get joined. And the third part we are going to do is to remove the join. So the three parts. First, we understand what it is. Second, we look at how they come together. And the third one, to remove it. So when we see when they're coming together, we are looking at upadana, which is the patisamutpada cycle, that is the dependent origination. And when we see that it is going away completely, is the patisamutpada cycle ending. That is, one side is udaya, that is arising, and another side is nirodha, cessation. So what we really going to experience is how it is bound, that is no nibbana, how it is unbound, which is nibbana. So if we take three parts, the first part, that is when we do this, the first part represents the world of senses through which we sense something. The second part is the one what is called as a being, okay, or what we call satta in Pali and being in English. And the third part is the vijnana, the consciousness which arises with the condition and then makes the experience of the world possible. So the first part is the what we call as the world of experience, the sensual experiences. The second part is the being which attaches itself to the sensual experiences, which is what upadana is. And the third part is the one where the magician is sitting. He is playing around with these two, which is vijnana. So if we observe the Penapindupama Sutta, the lump of foam, Buddha explains what are these five aggregates. So the first part, we are going to properly understand what are these five aggregates and how should we meditate. Whether we are doing it a closed eyes meditation or an open eye meditation, watching the breath, how we can observe the five aggregates. That's what we are going to do as the first part. So today, if we are not able to go to the second part, it's okay. And then the third part. Fine. So let's start with the first part on the what are these five aggregates. Let's understand and experience with examples. Now the first part, the first thing is the rupa. Now what is this rupa or the form? In English it is form. In Pali there is form by two words, ru and pa. So if we were to go deeper like that, what that comes together to form something. It's like a dug is there or a floor is there. The floor, you put water, it binds. Whether the floor is completely like a powder, it's powder. So if I take a floor in my hand and if I were to put the air, that floor is going to go everywhere. But if I bring in water and put it on the floor, it becomes joined, it combines. And then on the dug, I can create any form I want. So I can use it for, like this plaster of Paris, I can create an animal there, I can create a human form there, I can create any form that's possible. It has 4 elements. So the floor, if we were to just take as flour, it's just a powder, solid. But when you bring water, it solidifies into a particular shape, whatever it is. It also has within itself an intrinsic value of air or the wind element or the wind quality, whatever we want to call that as, and it has temperature. It can be either cold or it can be warm, but it is having the temperature. So if I pour hot water, it becomes hot. If I pour cold water, it becomes cold, but it's temperature still. And if there is that floor, it's white or can be brown. It can be semi-brown or semi-white or yellow or whatever color, but there is color. So every form we see with our eyes has a color. Every form. When we say form, life and lifeless both have color. There's no way we can articulate and say only this has color and that doesn't have color. Everything in our sensory experience has color. So basically when we say rupa or the form, it's formed by these 4 and it has color, called in Pali as Vanna. Then it has, since there is this liquid, there is rasa, there is some liquid thing in that. So it has some flavor, it has some essence in that. Since the wind is there, okay, it has smell. So if I take that dug near my nose, I can smell. If I take my hand and put it on the nose, I can smell. Whatever that smell is, but it is smell. So as long as the wind is there, so long is the smell. As long as the water element is there, there is going to be rasa, flavor. So if you were to cut this body and some fluid is coming out, each one comes with a separate kind of flavor. The same thing in trees, same thing with iron, same thing with all metals or anything we see. If we were to burn, including plastic, you can see some liquid oozing out from there. And if it were to be edible, you can taste it. But otherwise also it has some taste, maybe not a good taste, but it has some taste. Taste in the sense that is flavor, to taste. Then this, whatever the dug which has been prepared, certainly has nutrients. So this body, which is made out of that, basically for a mosquito, this is a nutritious item because it can survive on the blood. For a bacteria, this body is a nutritious item. It doesn't recognize this as a human body. This is just like a dog, which has Prithvi, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, earth, water, fire and air. Varna, Rasa, Gandha, Oja, that is color, then the flavor, then the temperature, which is Oja, and the smell. So anything we find in this world, through whatever senses we are going to use, you're going to experience these 8 things. So you have Mahabhuta, which is 4, then the Upadaya Rupa of 4. That is, Mahabhuta means the major elements, if we were to use that, and Upadaya means derived from that. So this is how Rupa is. The best example for meditation is the flower, water, and shapes. So if you have a casting, if you have a cast, you can put it in the cast, just like we do for bread, we do for other kind of things. We can create a form, lifeless. There's no life, but it exists. Now, if there is life, Jivitindriya, then this lifeless subjects comes to life. So this is what Rupa is all about. There's no person. It's just Rupa. Life and lifeless. These are the 8 things which are going to be there. Now when we come to the Vedana, feeling. So what is feeling? So we have learnt in the Mahavedala Sutta as well as Chula Vedala Sutta, that is Majjhima Nikaya 43 and 44, is that what it can feel, not a person, what can be felt. It's just a feeling that comes when I see someone, when I hear something, when I taste something, when I touch something, when I smell something, and when I think something. What's the feeling? So basically it can have 3 feelings. One feeling is feeling pleasurable. So you really feel the pleasure. So just like some guest comes home and then we might say, it's our pleasure. So what we are really saying is that we like your company. That's pleasurable feeling. And when the guest comes home, there are some arguments and all that, and then we feel painful. And really we feel the pain, the pinching sensation. So if we were to see both of them, here there's an expansion feeling at the heart. In the center of the heart, you feel an expansion. If you don't like something, then there is contraction. You can observe. It's an observable media. So when I don't like something, there is a contraction. When I like something, there's an expansion. There is gladness when that expansion is there. When there is contraction, there is a painful sensation. you can really find out it is paining. It's not comfortable. So you find uncomfortable. Here you find extremely comfortable. Two extremes, and a middle is neutral. When I see an object, if I don't get any feeling at all, when I hear the sound, no feeling, like example, there's a loud music coming next to my home, but I don't give my ear to that. I'm not saying the sound is not there. A sound is very much there, but I'm not given my ear because I'm writing something. So when I'm writing something, or when I'm typing something, or I'm seeing something on the YouTube, the external sound coming through my window does not bother me, because there is no consciousness of that at all. So there is no contact, phassa. So when we say Vedana, you have Chakku Sampajja Vedana, Sota Sampajja Vedana, like that, 6 of them. Ja means birth, born out of, the feeling born out of. The eye, the ear, the nose, tongue, body, and the mind. It requires consciousness to connect. If there is no connection, just like right now also, there are some sounds coming from my window. But since I'm engrossed in what I'm talking, those sounds don't make anything to me. But that doesn't mean the sound is not there. It is there. But I have not put my concentration or awareness on that. The moment I start becoming aware, I lose the concentration on this. And that is the distraction what I'm going to get. I'm going to land in a painful situation or a pleasurable situation. If I don't do that, I will remain in the neutral situation right now. So this is the feeling. Then we get into a perception, sanya. So if you take sanya, it's the object. Here, the feeling are the senses, but the perception are the objects which come into each of these sense door. A sight coming into the vicinity of the eye is a perception. Like that, all the remaining 5. That is sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and the Dhamma, which is thoughts. Till here, it's okay. So we have understood like a dog. We have understood this just like a lump of foam. This is also same example almost. Now we found out on the Vedana, which is the feeling, is just like a rainwater falling on the body. And if a person is really concentrating on that water or on the raindrops, that person will get attracted to it or repelled by it. But by chance, he doesn't bother or she doesn't bother the raindrops falling. There's no sensation. There's absolutely no feeling of what is happening. He's just getting wet, but nothing is happening. The third one, sanya, is like making sense of all that objects. And in the Penapindupama Sutta, Buddha refers is like a mirage in search of water. You keep on going towards the water, but you rarely get that water. So there's no water. So this is the sanya which is happening. Now here, whatever the object that comes near, there is grasping of that object which has knowledge on that object, what that object is. And that's the reason it's called sanya, perception. It knows. There's nothing that you need to teach. It knows. Even the child knows it. So when you bring in light, it gets attracted. When you bring in some object, it gets attracted. It is perceiving. It's able to perceive. Then we come to the most sensitive part of Buddha Dhamma, which is sankhara. Now what is this sankhara? Khara means to work, to do. By adding sun in front of it, it's making something out of that through the senses. Meaning, what is that? Sun, if we were to add, normally it tends towards liking something, disliking something, and not being aware of the very thing. Meaning, we'll take an example. Let's say we've gone to a pizza. The pizza is not there in the food. Pizza is a concept, but it's not there in the food. But the sankhara, the work, what is being done by the cook, is to make the pizza. He loves the pizza, so he makes that to serve to the customer. The effort what he has taken to make that pizza while no pizza exists is sankhara. And the customers, they eat the food, but they think they had pizza. They're just the food. 1 second. So the pizza is served by the pizza joint, and the customer seems to be enjoying pizza. And the effort, whatever has been put, is only preparing the food, but called as pizza. And that effort has happened out of 3. One is kaya, from the body. One is from vachi, thinking how this pizza is going to be made. And mano sankhara, wherein you make that idealization, conceptualization, imagination of the pizza. And it comes in 6. One is the chakku sanchetana, ghana sanchetana, like that. The sanchetana is not just chetana, intention, it is sanchetana, with an intention either to like something or dislike something or being neutral to it. And that is sankhara. So when we say sankhara upekha, means feeling nothing of the 2 extremes, that is liking it and disliking it, the piya apiya, like what we looked yesterday. So I eat food as a food. I don't take in my mind it is pizza. It's a food. So I go to the joint and I look at the computer, whatever, wherever they put it, and then I'm going to choose what I would like to eat, and then I order. Because in that area, let's say I'm in somewhere driving on the road, and I see Taco Bells on one side and McDonald's on the other side and pizza on the other side, I will not have a preconceived judgment whether should I go to Taco Bell or I have to go to a Mexican joint or I should go to this joint. Instead, what I'm going to do is whichever is nearer. So I exit and I'm hungry, I just go there, park my car and order the food, eat the food, take the car and drive. Then I'm in Upekha. Otherwise, if I search Taco Bell and I go to Taco Bell, it means I'm doing a sankhara, which is abhisankhara, meaning adding more on that sankhara. So it tends to have raga, that is desire, dvesha, aversion, and moha, which is delusion. Okay. The delusion here is the pizza. Delusion here is the Pizza Hut. Delusion here is the Taco Bell. Delusion here is the Mexican joint. And likewise, I really start to feel that sankhara. That's avijja. Then comes consciousness, vijnana. Now what the vijnana is going to do is, whatever is desired, it makes that happen instantly. So what you think, you become. So in my mind, pizza is there. The consciousness makes this completely active or activated. And then I focus my attention in getting that. If I have intention of going to a Taco Bell, then it goes there. So it makes what I believe to happen. So the rupa, what I am seeing, is experienced through vijnana. Just like I see a person and I recognize that person, and I start liking the person or disliking the person, this has already gone through the rupa, the mind, which is vedana, sanya, sankhara, and the experience provider is the vijnana. These are the 5 aggregates. Now the mind, which is vedana, sanya, sankhara, attaches this 5 in a way that it looks real. And that is upadana, grasping, holding, or feeling something existing there. Something is really out there. So when I see this body of mine, this is like a dug which has nothing. It's coming out of food only. But I feel I am vilas. That feeling is the Vedana. Then there is a perception that this is vilas, which is Sanya. And as vilas, I start doing lot of actions through the body, through the speech, and through the mind. And that is Sankhara. So it is vilas Sankhara. And then the experience of vilas happens. So when I want to sit for meditation on this aspect, I need to watch the rupa first. This body, beautiful one to watch. I can cut it into 2 types and leave the other 2. The first one is looking at only the solid, not any other thing. Only the solid. Take any solid, from the head hair to the body hair, to the skin, to the teeth, to whatever we want to take. If we are not able to look at the heart and the lungs and liver and intestine and all that, leave it, no issues. Objective is to watch the solidity in this body, and then we'll see it. You can see it in two ways. One is a soft, one is the hard. The nails, the teeth, and the bone are hard. The remaining are soft. So when I sit in meditation, open eyes or closed eyes, doesn't matter, I will put my hand on my thighs, or if I'm in the car, if I'm driving, I can sense the steering wheel and watch my fingers as it touches. What's the difference? There's absolutely no difference between the steering wheel, which is slightly hard, but there's a rubber grip which is soft. Similarly, these fingers, slightly hard, but overall it is fluffy and soft. It has water inside, or liquid. Forget water, blood is there, so liquid. And it is soft. And the rubber grip is warm or cold. This one is also warm or cold. That's enough. You don't have to do anything more. Or wherever we are sitting on a chair, same thing. If we are standing, same thing. We can do any time we can be doing this. Watching whether it is hard or it is soft, it is warm, it's cold, it's liquid or not. So when we do that, when I go to restroom, I can watch hardness and liquidity. Just watch, nothing that I need to do anything special. So the rupa is penetrated. That means the consciousness, vijnana, is able to make the change of the perception. The perception changes, the feeling also changes. So immediately the feeling becomes neutral. You come to Majjhima, Patipada. The moment I change my perception from Vilas to a typical body consisting of this solid and liquid and heat and wind, or heat or cold and wind, I've penetrated the Mahabhuta. Then I can see the color. Oh, I am of this color. Am I of this color? No. The body is of this color. It's not I who is in this color. Okay, good. The saliva has some flavor. The blood has some flavor. Is that me who is having the flavor? No. The blood has flavor. The saliva has flavor. It's not me to have flavor. Good. This body has temperature. Some places it is resembling cold. In some places it is resembling hot. Did I make it as hot or cold? No. It's there. Then there is wind moving in the body. It's moving. Nothing that I made it to move. It's moving. So now I have seen these four elements, and I have seen the Upadaya Rupa also. And the mosquito is coming and biting. It's taking nutrients. It's not doing anything to me. It has no idea that this is not to be troubled. This is Vila's hand, shouldn't be biting it of all the things. It doesn't care. Just comes, sits there, puts its injection down there, sucks the blood, flies away. So when I watch this, what happens? The perception changes and the feeling also changes. So when the feeling and perception changes, the sankharas become neutral now. So what did I achieve by this meditation is to watch the 5 aggregates as separate rather than combined. So there is a great relief that I am not the Rupa, I am not the Vedana, I am not the Sankhara. Sanya, I am not the Sankhara, I am not the Vijnana. So when I say I am, it's nothing but these 5 aggregates is what I have experienced. So when who is experiencing it? Through Vijnana itself, the mind experiences. That is the Vedana and Sanya. That's what mind is. Through the 6 sense doors, it experiences and makes it as I. Now that is not there. And hence, through Anicca Sanya, the 5 aggregates, you experience Anatta. This is how we can see the two of them together. That means you experience Anicca and then you experience Anatta. Either of them or both of them gives the experience of Nibbana. To whom? Again, the consciousness experiences unbinding. There's nothing to be bound. So the mind which was clenching its fist saying that this is me, it's opened. It's not there. The key thing is the Sankhara. The opening happens in the Vijnana. What is going to be seen is Yatha Bhuta Jnana, which is the Bhuta, the 4 great elements, is seen as is. And hence you get Viraga, dispassion, Nirodha, cessation, and Nibbana. Because that madness of possessing this dug is no longer there. So in the lump of foam, that's exactly what he narrates. The Vijnana is the magician that brings everything together. This is the practice. So I touch any part of the body and watch the feeling. The moment I start rubbing this hand and feeling what really is happening, I don't feel myself in any part of the body. And that's a practice we can do, and we can immediately get that experience. So what you need to do is close your eyes and from head to feet, just try to feel what are you really getting. Don't consider that you are so-and-so person or so-and-so thing. Just really see what is there, like the dug powder plus water plus some temperature. We call that as room temperature. And then the movement. Taking all the 4. Adding a life source. What else is happening? And check. If by chance we get this experience of Yatha Bhuta, and then the perception goes away. Perception changes. From Nicca Sanya, it becomes Anicca Sanya. that is, vilas goes away, replaced by these four elements. So the concept of vilas is lost. When the concept of vilas is lost, all experience related to vilas is gone. So the clinching or the fist is gone. So the sankharas become neutral. Because the sankharas were based upon the personality. And now the personality itself is not there. There's nothing to really enjoy or suffer. So there's nothing like I add a pinch of raga, a pinch of dosa, that is hatred, and a pinch of moha, delusion. So the sankhara, to do something with intention by adding these three, doesn't exist. And hence the perception changes and the feeling becomes neutral now. When the feeling is neutral, then this person, like the dog, is seen. So there is no excitement to see anyone at all. Because whomever we see, whether it's a female or a male, is the same. It's just these four elements. So then there are two kinds, one with life, one without life. The buildings and the roads and all those constructions and all that is lifeless, but same four elements. And it has color, it has smell, it has flavor, it also has nutrients. It's there. Trees grow on the mud, so there is nutrients. We don't eat mud, absolutely fair. But that doesn't mean that there are no nutrients at all. There is nutrients. So this is the practice leading to the second part. So let's practice the first part. Now it is 9:13, so we can take a half an hour. So let's start at 9:15 and we end at 9:45 India time. But if you want to continue doing that, you can continue. There's nothing that we have to stop. So you have to close or open however you want to keep your eyes. Relax by watching the in-breath and the out-breath, touching the nostril area. This you are going to do for 5 minutes. And after watching the breath for 5 minutes, what you're going to do is to put you would have already put your hands on your thighs or anywhere you would be holding. You just have to bring a part of the body connecting to another part of the body. So the best way is to have the hands touching the legs or the thighs or wherever you would like to touch it. And then watch what is happening. Feel the softness, feel the hardness, so you get pathavi. Then you watch the blood flowing everywhere and the sweat and all that is apo. Then you feel the temperature, heat and cold is tejo. And then you look at the movement. The stomach has rumbling sensations. So that is vayu. Then you see the color. There is color in everything. So varna. Then you have rasa, which is flavor. Then you have gandha, which is because of the vayu. There is some smell that comes from everything. So there's some fragrance which is coming. Good fragrance, bad fragrance, but just fragrance. And then you have the oja, which is nutrients. So if there is fire element, there is nutrients. So just watch that and look at what happens to the Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and look at how Vijnana opens this closed fit or closed fist when you really do that. So let's try it out. Do it slowly. Don't have to pressurize yourself. Take it cool. Take it soft. Relax your body. Watch the breath for 5-10 minutes, touching your nostrils, and then start looking at the Rupa and look at the neutrality which comes on your Vedana feeling. Then you look at the perception, how it changes from the person to just the objects. Then you look at the sankharas of each one of them. It becomes neutral. And the Vijnana, consciousness, makes that anatta feeling happen. Good luck on that. I wish that you get that Nibbana right here, right now. let us give up the grasping to this body, which is made out of 4 elements, through the vijnana consciousness, by becoming aware of what this body is. And once we do that, all the sankharas get stilled. The conceptualization goes away. Due to that, the perception gets corrected. And the feeling becomes neutral. Now your 5 fingers have opened up without holding on to anything. So now you can see the rupa is arising and passing away. And it's reducing and diminishing all the time through hunger and thirst. And based upon that, the feeling also changes, also keeps on diminishing. The perception does the same, and so the sankhars. And as the experience changes, the vijnana also keeps on passing away. Now we are able to understand the 5 khandas. So we can see the arising of the 5 khandas and departure of the 5 khandas. When I call it's past, it's only these 5 khandas. If I say future, it's again these 5 khandas. If I say I am the present, then again it is 5 khandas. So it is just the form, just the feeling, just the perception, the willful intention to gain something, and then the experience provider. When we just see it as just that, the feeling of I, which was the grasping, no longer exist. Drop the sankhara, that is the intention to do something with an idea of possession. Because there is nothing you can possess. And all of this grasping is the suffering, dukkha. Keep on touching the body and feeling whether you can see anywhere I in the hands, in the arm, in the chest, in the face, in the head, in the torso, in the legs, in the thighs, in the feet. You will not find any I in that. You will only find it either hard or soft. You will find it's liquid. You will find the heat. And you will hear some rumbling sensation near the abdomen area, and the breathing. But you will not find I. You will not find that person you seem you are. With this, you come to anatta. And when you really experience anatta, you can feel the relief. Because everything turns neutral. Keep on doing it as long as you want. And you can drop from the call whenever you're done.